tell them.
Hoot. Hey guys, so I didn't do a lot of filming this week, but I did do a tiny little bit from a party I went to earlier in the week, and so here it is.
Rhiannon, shot them. Shot them. Got it. Scotty! Gotta have a shot, Scott.
Redskin.
So I know that wasn't a lot, but I've been on placement, so I haven't really been doing much outings. I've literally just been at a hospital for the whole week. So here we go. We have a serious problem with the whole stigma cloud that hangs over mental health. It really frustrates me because it's just no need for it. I don't have a mental illness myself, but I've met people with mental illnesses, and it just infuriates me even more to know about the stigma that is surrounding this. Stigma is a mark of disgrace associated with a particular circumstance, quality, or person. So they're affected by people who have these misconceptions about their lives, and things that are usually associated with mental illness are. Mental illness is rare. Statistics show that in 1 year, 20% of Australia's population is affected by mental illness, and that 49% roughly will experience a mental illness at some point in their life. Mental illness is dangerous, and this all comes from media representation. Do you think people with diabetes are excessively violent? What annoys me is that when you're learning about these people who have mental illnesses, there is a more likely chance of that person being a victim of violence or having violence inflicted upon them prior to them gaining this mental illness. For instance, a person with post-traumatic stress. That is a mental illness. Does that mean that they are crazy and dangerous? No, they are affected by something traumatic that happened in their life. You can just get over it. Would you go up to a cancer patient or a person with a heart disease or a lung disease or diabetes and just tell them that they could get over it? Most illnesses can't just be willed away out of their mind. Ignoring an illness doesn't help. Another stigma is that children can't get mental illnesses, that it's just a part of growing up. Children have a brain. Children have their own body. Children can get diseases, so therefore, why can't a child or an adolescent get a mental disease? It is an illness, not a fucking part of growing up. Part of growing up is learning to walk or going to school. Apparently, mental illness is a weakness. Doesn't make sense to me, but a mental illness is as real as any other disease, and that's what people need to start understanding. It is something that needs to be treated, and is not something that people should be shunned for having. People with mental illnesses can never be normal. What is normal? Why does society get to choose what is normal and how people should live their lives? Just because you differ from what society claims is normal does not mean that you should be disrespected in any way. People who have mental illnesses, they can lead a healthy life. People who have mental illnesses can achieve that. With half of the population experiencing a mental illness in their lives, I would say a lot of people are managing this. People are ignorant and they don't understand. Therefore, they need to educate themselves. They need to be aware that this is an issue. They need to challenge stereotypes, and they need to support people with mental illnesses. I watched this video a few days ago, and I think you should check it out. I'll leave it down in the description. It is Charlene's question was great, and off the top of my head, the 3 things that I would bring to a deserted island with me would be my friends. If I could put them all collectively into a item, what I've always said is friends of the family you choose. I'd bring potatoes, because as I said last week, if I could eat one food for the rest of my life, it'd be potatoes. So I'd bring an unlimited supply of potatoes. Have one more. I would bring rum, because if anything, I've always known from Pirates of the Caribbean movies that rum is always needed when you're on a deserted island. Ugh. So Jasmine, my question for you is, who's influenced you the most in your life and how did they do it?